Vasyl Lomachenko is back for the action. Family, what is good? Renee Box Young, greetings and salutations to the whole community. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all know what it is, man. I always show my appreciation, and it's always worth the time, at the beginning of my lives, videos, to express my appreciation to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for subscribing, for tuning into the videos, man, for, commenting in the videos, liking, etc., sharing, man. I really appreciate each and every one of you. My day ones, man, I appreciate you guys so much, ladies and gentlemen. Those who have recently subscribed, I also appreciate you, each and every one of you, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys are all, taking care of yourselves, you know what I mean, in these crazy times that we're living in, man. But hey, this is a platform where we talk about the sport of boxing. We love it. You know what it is, man. You already know. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. Go ahead and share. This is an open platform where we openly speak about the sport of boxing in a mature fashion. You know what I mean, man? A mature, level-headed fashion. Definitely, man. For the love of the sport of boxing and for the love of you, thanks so much. Welcome to Renee Box Young. Lomachenko's coming back, man, so he's ready. It's not like he's been on a hiatus or anything like that, right? But I'm interested in this because, there are several, everybody knows, you know what I mean? And we're going to get to the article right now, and we're going to get to some rankings and everything. We're going to check it out, chop it up, you know what I mean? For maybe those who maybe not know too much about the rankings and, 130, 135, Lomachenko, as we all know, just fought and lost against Teofimo Lopez recently in the 135-pound division. And there are talks of him coming back. His team's talking about Lomachenko's coming back. And, he was cleared by the medic, apparently with that shoulder injury, whatever, right? That he's going to be training it again. He's running. He's getting ready, man, for a comeback. So interesting stuff, man. Now, I want to show you guys some things because him coming back, Lomachenko coming back, it means it's interesting. It's very interesting because we all know Lomachenko has skills. Taking nothing away from him. Definitely not, So let's get right to it, man. I want to show you guys something here. This is on boxingscene.com. Link in the description. You already know. And also, and the other links that we're going to check out, okay? Boxing rankings. This is in box.live. Link in the description. Boxingscene.com. Their rankings. Link in the description. Links in the description. You check it out. Yeah. Okay. So here I want to focus on this. This article by boxingscene.com. Manager Loma aiming for spring return. Okay. Besputin, blah, blah, blah. I want to focus more on Loma. Okay, so down here you see that his team, okay, we have here Loma, quote, Klimas says this to Boxing Scene. Loma is recovering well. Okay, so, what I really want to see, and we're going to get to that right now. I just want to kind of fit in some of my, comments and stuff like that. What I do really want to see is a Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez rematch, and I know that's not going to happen. I'm almost positive that's not going to happen. Teofimo, he's off to other things. He's off to other, possibly going up to 140, fighting the winner of Ramirez versus Taylor, or who knows? I don't know what he's going to do, and I don't know. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I doubt there's going to be a rematch. That would be amazing to see a rematch, just to show the world who really is better. You know what I mean? And I know. In my humble opinion, Teofimo won, and he's better. It is what it is. He gave a different, his game plan was great, blah, blah, blah. You already know. But, you know what I mean? Just to show Lomachenko that Teofimo's better. That's why I want to see the rematch, because you already know what happened with Lomachenko recently, crying, whining, and pouting that the judges were bribed and, his shoulder, etc., whatever, man. But he's coming out with excuses. So I would love to see a rematch. That's kind of what I'm saying here. And who knows? Maybe Lomachenko would be a little bit more aggressive and whatever. But it's not happening, so we can move on with that. Okay? Okay, so let's get back to the article. Oh, sorry, man. But let's get back to the article. So we have here, his team continues to talk about, you know what I mean, here, the contract for Lomachenko Lopez did not contain a rematch clause. So just tough it up and move on. Yeah. Okay, so what can we do? So they're talking about, we can't force them into a rematch. Just like I said, they're not going to rematch, so whatever. Okay, so this is the interesting stuff right here. Klima said Lomachenko could move back to 130 pounds, to the 130-pound junior lightweight division. Interesting stuff when he previously held the world title, or remain in the 135-pound lightweight division. So Klima said Lomachenko is open. Check this out, guys. Open. He's open to boxing either weight class. So he might stay at 135 or he might go down to 130. So, quote, maybe he goes back to 130. It depends. So, okay, he continues to say, if we can get a good fight at 135, I like the sound of this, a good fight, it better be a good fight. I think it will be. I have no reason to doubt that, but 135 pounds, Loma would like to stay at 135. If there is no good fight, this is why I like the sound of it, ladies and gentlemen. If there is no good fight at 135, then we will move to 130. So now look at this. At 130 and 135, there are big names and good fights. That's why I want to show you the rankings right now. So there are very good possibilities. So that's the plus in this, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? That's the plus, that their team, they want good fights. Now, according to the term good fights, we know what it is. It's the best fighting the best, as far as, I guess we can say avid, or I don't know the adjective you want to put on it, but, hardcore, avid, boxing fans. We want to see the best fight the best. That's what I want. I've been saying, I always want that. That's what I want. Okay? And a lot of people want that, but it just depends on what they mean by good fights and having great opponents or good opponents or what have you. Up to now, I don't think I have a reason to doubt what they're saying as far as good fights. I think they do want the best and the top. My hat's off to Lomachenko for fighting Teofimo Lopez and vice versa. So I have no reason to doubt as of yet, okay? What I don't like, though, and you guys already know, I made a video about it, and a lot of people are talking about it also, and a lot of us are on the same page as far as the boxing community, because we love the sport of boxing, and, real boxing community, unbiased, I guess, or whatever, but, that it really rubbed me the wrong way how Lomachenko was whining and pouting, man, on him losing, making excuses. I mean, it is what it is. That's why I see it. They're excuses. But I think this is good news that, Lomachenko and his team, they want good fights at 135 or 130. So his team is talking about, Klima's is talking about, if there are no good fighters or fights, if they can't find a good fight at 135, then they'll go down 130 and find a good fight. So now let's check the rankings. Now this is something I want to point out. I want to point this out, and I pointed it out. I pointed this out some time ago when I was talking about rankings. When I was talking, I don't remember what I was talking about, but I had boxingscene.com rankings, okay? So let's check it out real fast. I want to go to that one first, and I want to show something and pinpoint something that's wrong by boxingscene.com, and I say it with all due respect, but, right here, and I remember mentioning this some time ago, and I asked, when I made the video, I said, hey, can anybody clarify that to me, please? Because right here, after Teofimo Lopez won, you know what I mean? We see here that, it says Teofimo Lopez is the WBC champ, WBA champ, IBF champ, and Vasyl Lomachenko is WBO champ. What's the problem there? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And it's been long enough for them to change that. So I think that's whack, okay, in my personal humble opinion. Now you go down here, box.live, okay, go ahead and check links in the description, as I said. Right? So you have here, this looks more updated and correct. So you have the ring champ, yeah, whatever. Okay, so WBO, IBF, WBC, Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo, he's the champ and all that, and in WBA. So here in WBO, he's the champ. So it looks like box.live is the correct, source to go to. I want to clarify that before I continue, okay? Because I had that question in mind, and like I said, they fought long enough to where it's been long enough since that fight with Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, where they can fix that. I don't know what's up with boxingscene.com, whatever. It looks like they got it wrong there, man. So I mean, I'm gonna lean towards. So I'm gonna X out this, okay, and I'm gonna stay to box.live, okay. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys hear the dogs barking in the background, they're going off. You know what I'm saying? They see some neighbors or whatever, other dogs in the street, they just bark away. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to this now. Why do I want to get to this? Because if Lomachenko stays at 135. I think ideally a rematch would be great. But then again, they're not going to fight. So they're not going to have a rematch. I highly doubt it. If they do, great. If I'm proven wrong, great. Like I always say, right? Now we have here WBC, you got Devin Haney. Devin Haney wants that smoke with Vasily Lomachenko. Devin Haney wants that smoke with anybody, you know what I'm saying? In my humble opinion, he's about it, you know what I'm saying? He really does. Ryan Garcia is not up to par yet, in my personal opinion. You got Javier Fortuna. You got some good names up there. So I think personally, okay, as we see here, we got to go ahead, WBA, can't ignore that, right? You got Gervonta Tank Davis. What's up with that? Definitely, man. You know, I would love to see that. But then again, there's controversy in that aspect because I don't know, man. I don't know if the money team, Floyd Mayweather Promotions will want Gervonta Tank Davis to fight Lomachenko. Maybe they will. I don't know. Because I remember a couple years ago, we cannot ignore this, and I say it, I stay 100 with everybody. You know what I'm saying? All fighters that. I remember some time ago, I remember it very clearly, man, where Gervonta Tank Davis was asked, but this was a couple years ago, so it was a while ago. He was asked about Lomachenko if he wanted to fight him, and he reacted. His body language showed that he didn't want to. He was like, I don't remember what he did with his lips. He was like, we're not in a rush, and, something like that. Seems like his team has been in that posture, in that position, with that disposition, whatever you want to call it, that, Tank, at that time at least, they weren't rushing him. And that Lomachenko was in a rush, and he has to, fight quick because he's getting old and blah, blah, blah. So they stood on that, it seems like, if I remember correctly, okay? It was a couple years ago, and it's been like that for a while. They were saying that, but who knows, though? I mean, that's a name right there. WBA, definitely, man. That would be an awesome fight right there. Let me get back to it. So you got Gervonta Tank Davis there, WBA lightweight champ. And, I really don't ride with all that, super regular. I can care less. But, I mean, Gervonta Tank Davis is up there. So that would be an awesome fight with Lomachenko. That's one option. Okay, that's why I'm saying this. Because, remember, his team, Lomachenko's team, saying they want a good fight at 135. If they don't find a good fight at 135, then they go back down to 130. We'll check that out in a moment. So you got Tank Davis up there, okay? You got Devin Haney up there. You got a possible, which is not going to happen, but I say it's possible because anything is possible. So Teofimo Lopez for a possible rematch. Vasily Lomachenko, I really hope he goes for Devin Haney. Okay, for that WBC belt, because he has a belt. Don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen, WBC belt. It's not the franchise belt. It's the WBC championship belt. So we got to understand that. We got to get that clear. People twisting things around. Facts are facts. Devin Haney has a WBC lightweight championship belt. That's it. Teofimo Lopez has a franchise championship belt, and that's a whack belt, in my personal opinion. But it is what it is. Okay, so I mean, Lomachenko has Davis. He has Haney. He has Teofimo Lopez in a rematch, which is not going to happen. So, most likely. So, you got some good names there, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? You got some good names, and I don't think there is a reason for, Lomachenko's team to deny those opponents or to try to fight them, okay? Try to fight them. Please, go fight Haney. Go fight Tank Davis. That would be awesome. That would be some awesome stuff, you know what I mean? So, those are possible big fights, okay? Now, let's go back to... we'll go down. So let's have a scenario where, okay, well, 135 they couldn't make the fight, business, blah blah, politics, who cares, whatever. They couldn't make the fight, okay, of any of those fighters, with any of those fighters. So let's go down to 130. Okay, so 130, who do we have? Jamel Herring, but Jamel Herring's gonna fight Frampton soon. Okay, all these people, they have their schedules packed. Okay, now that's the problem there with 130. You go down to 130. These people got their schedules packed except for a fighter or two. So I'm gonna get to that in a moment. So we got Jamel Herring. He's gonna fight Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton is ranked 4 in WBO, so Jamel Herring is going to fight Carl Frampton soon. According to reports, I made a video on that. Go check it out, and I gave my analysis between them two fighters. So they're tied up. Joseph Diaz is tied up. Made a video on that too, talking about that. I don't remember which video it was, but I talked about it. Or I went live or something. So Joseph Diaz, he's going to fight this guy, Shakada, whatever, how you pronounce it, with all due respect. I don't know. I'm not good with names. Rakimov, Joseph Diaz. So they got their hands tied. If I'm not mistaken, around January 30th, they're going to fight or something like that. So Miguel Berchelt, he has his hands tied also with Oscar Valdez. According to reports, right, it was postponed. You guys already know because of stupid virus, man. They got their fight fight postponed. They were to fight already in December, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember which date. I don't even remember which date, but apparently they're going to fight early 2021. So Miguel Berchelt, Oscar Valdez, they got that fight. They got their hands tied. So we have one possibility, a great possibility, ladies and gentlemen, a great fight. Shakur Stevenson, you already know, he wants to smoke with everybody. That's the thing right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing right there. We also got Gervonta Tank Davis again. Don't tell me, Lomachenko, that you can't fight these guys. Don't come about, Lomachenko team, please. And I'm not sitting here hating, of course not. I'm just saying, man, if your team says they want a good fight, you got some great names that are possible fights right now. So, or soon, or early next year, whatever date they want to put. So, man, let's get back to it one more time. Okay, let me show you guys. So you got Shakur Stevenson. He just fought recently, and he gave a beautiful performance. You already know his skills is off the charts. Shakur Stevenson is right there waiting in the rings, waiting in the wings, ready to fight anybody. Gervonta Tank Davis, hopefully he fights him. You know, so you got some names, ladies and gentlemen. But these guys got their hands tied. Jamel Herring, Carl Frampton, Joseph Diaz, Miguel Berchelt, Oscar Valdez. Their hands are tied. But you got Shakur Stevenson, you got Gervonta Tank Davis, and these are some good fights, ladies and gentlemen. These are some good potential fights that Lomachenko can have. So let's get back real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you guys here in the article. Okay, let's get back to this. So, and let me just repeat this, right? So maybe he goes back to 130. It depends, Klima said. So if we can get a good fight at 135 pounds, Loma would like to stay at 135. So we just saw the names there at 135. If there's no good fight at 135, then we'll move at 130. So no good fights 135. They'll go down to 130. At 130 and 135, there are big names and good fights. So we just saw those big names and those possible good fights. So there are very good possibilities, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, and this is explaining some of the names or whatever that I mentioned. Okay, so yeah, whew. Okay. It seems like I speak faster when I don't have the camera on me. So, yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's good news that he's coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he hasn't been on a hiatus or anything, but coming back from a loss, I guess that's what I'm saying here. So, I hope the best, man, for Lomachenko, and I really do. He fights these names. Man, you saw the names. These are big potential fights, you know what I mean? And we'll see. Lomachenko has 2 losses. I don't knock him off. Just like I'm not knocking off Anthony Yard. He has 2 losses. I'm not knocking these guys off. You know, they still got skills. They still got a lot of potential. They got talent, etc., etc. Okay? So I really do hope, and I like the sound of his team. Not necessarily Lomachenko's sound, okay? On what he said recently, what I talked about earlier of him whining and pouting and complaining over a loss. No. But his team, Klimas, okay? Or Loma's team. Talking about they want good names and they want a good fight. So that sounds good. So let's hope for the best. We'll see who Lomachenko fights next. Let's have our eyes. Let's have our eyes on this and let's see what goes on. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been saying it, man. I want to repeat it because I've been saying it. I've been saying it ever since boxing returned. It started out with some competition, some fights that weren't necessarily up to par or competitive, okay? But I've been saying I'm optimistic about it. I hope I'm confident that we're going to be seeing great fights soon. The tables are going to turn. I think I even used that phrase, that the tables are going to turn soon in the sport of boxing. We're going to see great fights. And it's happened. Started, you know, promoters starting announcing great fights left and right. The last quarter of 2020 has been great for the sport of boxing, and I think it's going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is going to continue. Of course, we're not going to see all the fights regarding that we want to see come to fruition. The best fight, the best is not always going to happen, but we got to appreciate what we're seeing so far. It's great, and I think my hopes are high regarding, you know, the sport of boxing in 2021, early 2021, at least the first quarter. I think we're going to see some great things, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see what's up. I do want to see less of Lomachenko whining, complaining, and just get in there and fight. Talked about this the other day when I did a video about it. You know, just talk less, act more, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. Talk less and act more. Lomachenko, your team sounds like they're speaking good. So we'll see what happens. Renee Box Young, comment below. Who do you want to see Lomachenko fight next? Great stuff, man. Great names up there. We'll see if he chooses them, okay? So like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you for your love, man. Each and every one of you, man. Definitely stay safe. Take care of you and your loved ones, your health and well-being. Definitely. Renee Boxyoung. Peace out, family.